God is not the one doing. The man is just reaping the wages of his choice, or is receiving the repercussion of his decision. He will get a recompense. That means that in the preaching of the gospel also comes an announcement. In the preaching of the gospel also comes an announcement of the imminent destruction of them that do not believe. We preach the love of God, we preach salvation, but along with that message is judgment for anyone who does not believe the message. When you reject the message, you reject God and you reject his presence, and the absence of God becomes destruction. The man who doesn't believe the gospel as a function of his choice is therefore banished from his life. And when you are banished from God's life, that is the destruction. A self-activated futuristic destruction. A self-activated futuristic destruction. And Jesus preached it. Brother Paul preached it. The writer of the book of Hebrews taught it. Those who are adversaries to the gospel will be destroyed, not by God, but by unbelief. Because the power of God is in the gospel. The power of God is salvation. Romans chapter 1 verse 16. Romans chapter 1 verse 16. For I am not ashamed of the gospel of Christ, for it is the power of God unto salvation to everyone that believeth, to the Jew first, and also to the Greek. Brother Paul never preached a person to come or the arrival of a very powerful mythical being. All the people Paul spoke about were present in his day. It was not futuristic. Those he said opposed the gospel, who had the spirit of delusion, were present in Brother Paul's days. They had signs, they had wonders. So Paul was therefore discussing the end of men who have believed and the end of men who have not believed. He was not predicting the future appearance of an antichrist. This is very consistent with all the things that Brother Paul taught in his letters. You see, the message of the destruction of the unbeliever is not a message of joy, but a message of hope, that the believer is comforted. That antichrist being, or the antichrist being, was created to put fear in the minds of people. That's the whole thing about this antichrist, that being, that personality. Paul was teaching rather to bring comfort, not to bring fear. Everything the Bible teaches about the future, the resurrection, is about comforting the believer, because they are going through persecution and opposition to the gospel. So the resurrection, immortality swallowing mortality, is a message of comfort, not a message of fear. So what Brother Paul taught therefore was a revelation of Jesus via his appearance. What Paul taught was not a man of sin. He taught about the men of sin, the sons of perdition. He did not have a single all-powerful person who would be labeled the Antichrist. There was no such stuff. There was only men of perdition, men of disobedience, and the man of sin. Now we're going to look at the Antichrist as a doctrine. The Antichrist as a doctrine. Jesus used the term false prophet. A false prophet is one who speaks by the Spirit about a Christ that is not our Christ. About a Christ that is not our Christ. He is a false teacher who teaches about a Christ that is not our Christ, and this false teacher opposes the gospel. Please pay attention. 1 John, the 2nd chapter, the 18th verse. 1 John, the 2nd chapter, the 18th verse. Little children, it is the last time. And as you have heard that Antichrist shall come, even now are there many Antichrists, whereby we know that it is the last time. Go. The Apostle John was the only one who used the term Antichrist. The word Antichrist was translated from the Greek word Antichristos. Antichristos. That's the Greek word. Anti implies that which is in place of. Anti, that which is in place of. Instead of, in place of Antichrist. Even now are there many Antichrists. Even now. Any religion that teaches another Messiah in place of Christ is Antichrist. You didn't hear? Any religion that teaches another in the place of Christ is Antichrist. Look at 1 John chapter 2 verse 19. And I'm going to read 19 to 23. Pay attention. They went out from us because they were not of us. For if they had been of us, they would no doubt have continued with us. But they went out that they might be made manifest that they were not all of us. But you have an unction from the Holy One, and you know all things. I have not written unto you because you know not the truth, but because you know it, and that no lie is of the truth. Who is a liar? But he that denieth that Jesus is the Christ. He is Antichrist, that denieth the Father and the Son. Whosoever denieth the Son, the same hath not the Father. He that acknowledgeth the Son hath the Father also. Now pay attention, the term all things is not a blanket use for all things or all kinds of